Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bookercast, the podcast where books come to life.
And I'm so excited to dive into another amazing story with all of you.
Whether you're a bookworm or just love a good story, this is the place for you.
Every episode, we explore incredible books, talk about their stories and characters, and share insights that'll make you fall in love with reading all over again.
All right, let's not keep you waiting any longer. Get comfortable, and let's jump right into it.
Sounds good.
Welcome to today's deep dive, everyone. We are going interstellar with Arthur C. Clarke's Rendezvous with Rama. I've had the chance to look over the excerpts you sent, and I gotta say, I'm pretty hooked already.
Yeah, this Rama thing, it's a pretty wild concept. It really turns some classic sci-fi ideas on their head, but does it in a way that feels really true to Clarke's style. You know, that blend of scientific accuracy with just a touch of imaginative storytelling.
Yeah, sounds like a good one. So, I guess to start, can you kind of set the scene for our listeners? What's the backdrop to this whole cosmic encounter?
All right, so imagine this. The year is 2077, and, humanity's just barely survived a major crisis. A huge meteorite almost wiped us all out.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, it was a close one. And, this near-extinction event, well, it leads to the creation of this thing called Project Spaceguard.
Spaceguard.
Yeah. It's this global effort to protect Earth from any more cosmic threats. It's actually kind of a cool moment for humanity, a time of unity driven by, everyone realizing how vulnerable we are out here in the vastness of space.
Okay, so it's 2077, Spaceguard is up and running, and then what? When does this Rama show up?
All right, so fast forward with me a bit. To 2130, Spaceguard picks up something truly unusual on their radar. It's Rama, this interstellar visitor just cruising through our solar system. But, and here's the catch, it's not in a typical orbit, not at all. It's on a hyperbolic trajectory.
Hyperbolic trajectory meaning?
Meaning it's just passing through, no orbiting or anything like that, no settling down. You can almost picture it like Rama's on a cosmic road trip and our solar system, it's just a quick pit stop.
Gotcha.
And this is where it gets interesting, because it means we've got a limited amount of time to figure out what this thing is and where it's going.
So time is of the essence here. And from the sounds of it, this Rama is not exactly subtle, right? This isn't some little asteroid hiding out in the darkness.
Oh, definitely not. Not even close. We're talking a gigantic cylinder, 40 kilometers long, spinning super fast. And it's just unlike anything anyone's ever seen before. When Clarke describes its initial appearance, it's chilling. Like it's almost too perfect, too symmetrical to be natural.
Yeah, that would definitely raise some eyebrows.
Absolutely. And I'm sure the scientific community just went nuts trying to explain it.
I bet.
Yeah.
What were some of the early theories floating around?
Well, first you've got the initial shock and awe, right? Is it a defunct star? Maybe some kind of cosmic weapon, or even the ghost of a Dyson sphere.
Those are some pretty wild ideas.
Right. And some people even feared it could be a threat to Earth, like that rogue planet in H.G. Wells' The Star.
Oh, right. I remember that one.
Yeah. Humanity's still a little on edge after that near miss with the meteorite.
I can imagine.
So instead of sending Bruce Willis up there to nuke it, which is what some folks probably wanted to do.
That's a classic solution.
Oh, yeah. But no, instead, they assembled the Rama Committee. This group of super smart, if maybe a little stressed out scientists. Their job was to, assess the situation and figure out how to guide the mission. And it kind of highlights how even when we're faced with the unknown, we tend to fall back on our knowledge and expertise, right? Trying to make sense of things the best we can.
So this is where Commander Norton and his crew come in. The spaceship Endeavour, they get this pretty prime assignment, rendezvous with Rama.
That's right. And it's mission like no other. Unprecedented scale and daring. You got to imagine the pressure on these folks. They're being sent to investigate an alien artifact, possibly the first evidence of extraterrestrial life ever. And they've got this super limited time window before it vanishes into deep space.
No pressure, right?
None at all. And Clarke really goes into detail on the whole approach and landing. Airlock entries, meticulous safety checks, the slow and cautious descent onto this spinning alien world. And all the while, there's this constant tension, like what's waiting for them inside? Friend or foe? Or maybe something totally beyond our understanding.
That's got to be nerve-wracking.
Absolutely. And then the moment of truth, they enter Rama's interior.
So what did they find? Was it a big, empty warehouse?
Yeah.
A cosmic disco ball?
It's way more impressive than that. Imagine a world bigger than any human construction. Clarke really paints a picture of this breathtaking but eerily silent landscape. 3 huge stairways leading down from the central hub, this massive body of water they call the cylindrical sea, splitting the whole interior in half, and strange cities dotting the landscape. And they have names like London, Paris, Moscow. Familiar names, but in this alien setting, it's actually quite unsettling.
Hold on. Alien cities modeled after Earth. Is this like some intergalactic tourism campaign gone wrong or something?
That's the big question, isn't it? These cities look like urban centers, but they don't have normal features like windows or doors. It makes you wonder, are these really cities meant for people to live in? Or are they something else entirely? Storage depots, maybe? Power stations? We're basically thrown right into the mystery along with the crew.
Yeah, that would be a head scratcher. And being inside this thing, walking through this silent alien world, it's got to mess with your head a little.
Oh, absolutely. And Clarke captures that feeling so well. The awe, the wonder, but also the fear. The silence, the strange gravity that gets stronger as they go deeper, the fact that they're walking through something that could be millions of years old, it all has an effect on them. It's a good reminder that even in the future, we're still human, still vulnerable in the face of the unknown.
Right. But I think you mentioned earlier that they weren't actually alone in Rama, right? You talked about these biots. What exactly are those?
Oh, yes, the biots. This is where Clarke's imagination really takes off. So they're robotic life forms, but not the kind of clunky metal robots we're used to seeing in sci-fi. These are biological machines, incredibly complex, each one designed for a specific purpose. Some of them scavenge, some repair things, and some seem to be involved in construction. But here's the weird part. They're completely indifferent to the humans. Like, they're programmed to just ignore us completely and go about their business.
So let me get this straight. They found this massive, seemingly abandoned alien ship with cities that aren't really cities and robots that don't care about humans at all. What could possibly go wrong?
You know what I love about Clarke is that he sets the stage, builds this incredible sense of mystery, and then boom, things start to happen. And let me tell you, things are about to get a whole lot more interesting.
All right, you've definitely got me hooked. But before we dive into the next chapter of this whole cosmic saga, what stood out to you most in this initial encounter with Rama? What really caught your attention?
For me, it's that constant push and pull between our need to understand things and then the fact that Rama is just so utterly incomprehensible. You know, it's like we're these tiny ants crawling around on this massive machine and we have no idea what it's for or how it works.
And just when you think you're starting to get a grasp on things, Rama throws you a curveball.
Yeah, exactly. Like when the cylindrical sea starts to melt. So picture this enormous frozen ocean starts thawing out because Rama's getting closer to the sun.
Makes sense.
And as it melts, these huge chunks of ice break off and create these giant waves and crazy storms. It's wild.
So Rama's not just this static thing then. It's dynamic. It reacts to its environment.
Exactly. It's unpredictable, and that's what makes it so fascinating, but also dangerous. You know, the crew has to adjust their whole exploration plan because they realize this isn't just a passive artifact. It's got a mind of its own in a way.
Speaking of danger, this is where the Hermians come in, right?
Yeah.
Another group of humans, but with a very different perspective on Rama.
Right. The Hermians are a really interesting contrast to Commander Norton and his crew. They represent a more cautious, I guess you could say paranoid faction of humanity. They see Rama as a potential threat, something to be feared and neutralized.
So while Norton's team is all about scientific curiosity, the Hermians are more like nuke it from orbit just to be safe.
Pretty much, yeah. And their fear leads them to a pretty drastic decision. They launch a nuclear missile at Rama.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, it's intense. And this is where Clarke really digs into the ethical questions of encountering the unknown. You know, do we react with fear and aggression or with curiosity and a desire to understand?
That's a big question for sure.
It is. And right in the middle of this standoff, we've got Lieutenant Rodrigo. He's a crew member with his own strong beliefs. He doesn't see Rama as a weapon. He sees it as something almost divine.
Interesting. So he's coming at it from a faith-based perspective while everyone else is looking at it scientifically.
Yeah, exactly. And that clash between faith and science, it plays out in a really dramatic way. Rodrigo convinced that Rama is here to save humanity. He secretly disarms the Hermians' bomb.
Wow, that's a bold move. Disarming a nuke is not something you do every day, especially when it's pointed at a giant, mysterious alien spacecraft.
No kidding. It's a pivotal moment in the story. Rodrigo's actions are driven by his faith, But it also highlights the danger of acting solely on belief, especially when the stakes are this high.
It's like Clarke is saying that even in this advanced technological future, we're still guided by our beliefs, whether they're rooted in science, religion, or something else.
Right. And those beliefs can shape our actions in really powerful ways, sometimes for good, sometimes not. But while all this human drama is going on, Rama isn't just sitting there waiting, you know? It's got its own agenda, its own cosmic timetable.
Right, I forgot. It's on that hyperbolic trajectory. It's not sticking around to see how our little human story plays out.
Nope. And as the crew continues exploring, they start noticing changes. The lights inside Rama are dimming, the biots are becoming more active, and there's this feeling that something big is about to happen.
It's like Rama's ready to leave the party, and it's time for all the guests to head home.
Exactly. And there's this last-ditch effort by the crew to learn as much as they can before it's too late. They explore this structure called the Temple of Glass. It seems to contain these holographic records of Raman technology and culture.
So finally, a peek behind the curtain. A chance to decode some of Rama's secrets.
It's tantalizing, but also frustrating. We get these glimpses of tools, machines, even a humanoid figure in some kind of suit, maybe a Roman. But it's like trying to understand an entire civilization from just a handful of artifacts.
And then poof, Rama's gone, leaving us with a ton of unanswered questions.
The departure is as sudden as it is amazing. Rama covers itself in the shield like a cocoon, accelerates without any visible thrust, and just vanishes into space. It completely defies our understanding of physics, and it leaves the crew and us as readers totally stunned and confused.
So the crew has to pack up, head home, and try to make sense of everything they've seen.
Exactly. They come back with data samples, a lifetime's worth of stories, but the ultimate mystery of Rama remains unsolved. What was its purpose? Where did it come from? Was it a message, a warning, or just some random cosmic coincidence?
And this is what makes Clarke such a genius, isn't it? He leaves us with this sense of wonder, all these unanswered questions, and this really profound awareness of just how much we don't know.
It's brilliant. He doesn't give us easy answers. He invites us to think about the vastness of the universe and our place in it. And I think that's what makes Rendezvous with Rama such a powerful and lasting work of science fiction.
You know, talking about this, it makes me think about something. What was your biggest takeaway from the crew's final encounters and Rama's departure? What really struck you?
Honestly, for me, it's how Rama just leaves. I mean, it's so bold. It's like Clarke is saying, hey, you humans, you've barely scratched the surface. The universe is full of things you can't even imagine.
Yeah, it definitely makes you feel pretty small. We spend the whole book trying to wrap our heads around Rama, and then right when we think we're getting somewhere, it's like, nope, not going to spoil the ending for you. See you later.
Exactly. And that's what I love about it, that sense of mystery, the unknown. It's like a really good magic trick. You know, you're left wondering how'd they do that? What was the point of it all? And the biggest question of all, will we ever see it again?
It's interesting to think about where Rendezvous with Rama fits in with other science fiction.
Yeah.
It feels both classic and groundbreaking at the same time.
I know what you mean. It definitely touches on those classic themes, exploration first, contact, the vastness of space. But it does it with this incredible scientific accuracy that makes it stand out. I mean, Clarke wasn't just a writer, he was a visionary, a futurist. He really understood the potential of science and technology.
And he weaves those hard scientific concepts into a story that's exciting and makes you think. It's a tough balance to strike.
It is. That's the magic of Clarke, I guess. He doesn't talk down to the reader, but he also doesn't get bogged down in technical jargon. It's that sweet spot where you can be entertained and learn something at the same time.
Okay, so speaking of learning something, there's one question that keeps coming back to me. What was Rama's purpose? Do you have any theories? What are you leaning towards?
Honestly, I'm so glad Clarke never spells it out for us. It leaves so much room for speculation.
Right.
Was it a survey vessel, a giant ark, maybe an intergalactic cruise ship? Who knows? But that's part of the fun, I think.
It definitely gets the wheels turning. What if we encountered another Rama in our lifetime? Would we be ready for it? Would we handle it any better than the Hermians did?
That's the ultimate question, isn't it? Rendezvous with Rama isn't just a story about an alien spaceship. It's like holding up a mirror to humanity. Our hopes, our fears, our limits, you know. It forces us to confront our own biases, our capacity for both wonder and destruction.
It's a powerful message.
It is, and at the end of the day, it reminds us that the universe is full of mysteries, things we haven't even begun to explore. And that's the beauty of science fiction, right?
It is. It sparks our imagination, challenges our assumptions, and leaves us with a sense of wonder that stays with us long after we've finished the book.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
On that note,
Mm.
I want to leave our listeners with a final thought. What would you do if you were on that crew, facing the unknown, inside Rama? What choices would you make? It's something to think about as you dive into this amazing book. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Rendezvous with Rama. Until next time.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Bookercast. We hope you enjoyed diving into it as much as we did. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Your support means the world, and we can't wait to hear your thoughts on this episode.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share this episode with your fellow book lovers. And let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. See you in the next deep dive. Bye for now, and happy reading.